I'm Kirsten Romero, the registered dietitian with Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia, and we're back in my kitchen and cooking from my pantry. Today we're going to make a nice cool salad with canned tuna that is wonderful for summertime when you don't necessarily want to get your kitchen all heated up and you want to have something delicious and nutritious. Tuna is a great place to start. So this one's really easy. It's a tuna apple salad. It's kind of a play on your traditional tuna salad, and it has lots of other fun ingredients just to take that taste up a notch. So the first thing we're going to start with is a can of tuna. Any small can of tuna will do. I rinsed it already to rinse away some of the sodium, and I drained it as well because I don't want to have any of that water or liquid in the bowl with our salad. So I'm going to put this into my mixing bowl here. Just one small can, and this will end up making enough for 2 servings. Okay, and then I cut up 1 celery rib and I sliced it. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in next. Give it some nice crunch and some more vegetables. I also cut up 1/2 of a small onion. Any type of onion that you have would work perfectly well. I cut it kind of smaller, I diced it because I thought it would be nice to have smaller pieces rather than big hunks of onion in the middle of the salad. I'm just gonna put that in the bowl. And then I cut up 1/2 of a small apple. And this is going to give it just a wonderful flavor kick and a lot of great crunch. I left the peel on for some extra fiber, but that's up to you if you want to peel it, but you will get more nutrition by leaving the fiber intact from the skin. I'm gonna put that in there. And then the next ingredient is 1/2 of a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now I took a fresh lemon and I went ahead and juiced it in my little handy juicer here. And you can also use just bottled lemon juice, or I could have just taken this whole lemon, cut it in half and just kind of squeeze some in here, just for that extra lemony flavor. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a fancy zester or anything like that, or juicer to make that work. And then I have some mayonnaise here. This mayonnaise has some olive oil in it, so that's a little bit healthier for you. It has some healthy fats in it. And I have this wonderful little measuring cup. This is 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I'm gonna put that in there. And last but not least is some dill. Now, if you make fish on a regular basis, you know how good dill tastes with fish. Tuna fish is no exception. So we're gonna put 1/2 teaspoon of dry dill in here and mix that in as well. If you have fresh dill, whenever you have fresh herbs, you use 3 times as much of the dried because the dried herbs have so much more flavor concentration. So 1/2 teaspoon would be 1.5 teaspoons if I had fresh dill. And the same goes if you read a recipe and it tells you, it needs a tablespoon of fresh dill. To use dried dill, you would use 1/3 of that, which would be 1 teaspoon, since there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. Anyway, just a little tip there, because a lot of times recipes will tell you how much of an herb to use. It might tell you in the fresh or in the dried form, and just to know that little trick to work back and forth between those. Okay, again, this is as simple as it gets. We're not even really cooking. We're just gonna mix this all up and make sure all the flavors are well blended. And originally, actually, when I got this recipe, it was supposed to be on pita bread. But during these times, we're not going to the grocery store as much, and I have to cook with what's in my pantry, and I don't have any more pita bread. So instead of putting this into a lovely little pita pocket, which would be delicious, you would just take a whole pita, cut it in half, and just put it into 2 halves of pita pockets, make 2 servings. I'm going to make it a little bit different, and I have a whole grain tortilla here, and you can also use the flavored tortillas if you want to, or wraps. But this is just whole grain tortilla, and I washed up some lettuce leaves and put those on there. And I'm going to put about 1/2 of this inside of this. I'm gonna wrap it up and make it look fancy, like your wrap you might get, at a sandwich shop or at a restaurant if you're ordering a wrap. I think I'm gonna wrap it toward me and hope for the best that it doesn't fall apart. I can put a toothpick there, but I think what I'm gonna do is just cut it in half, to try to make it look fancy. And then we could go like that. We could even garnish it with some fresh grapes or some other fruit and make it look like a fancy little sandwich. Look how nice that looks. Look at all the wonderful tuna that's in there and all the nice crunch. And as I always do in my videos, I have to taste it. So here goes. That really, really takes tuna up just another level. I think that's delicious. Another thing I was thinking about doing, I was thinking I might just take this and just wrap it into lettuce leaves and kind of make the lettuce leaves into like your little sandwich wrap. That's another option as well. And when I mentioned grapes, you could also have sliced grapes up instead of apple to put them in here. That would be delicious as well. You know, some people don't like the crunch of the apple. It's just too much. Maybe it's hard for them to, chew up something so crunchy. You could put the grapes sliced in half or even in quarters to put that in there just to give it that little bit of fruity flavor and another tasty flavor in there. And it would also be with raisins, possibly like the cranberries craisins. Those would also be really good. But this dill and the lemon just makes it so fresh. And I think that that's just a delicious way to make your tuna taste different and just delicious. So please try this out at home, see what you think, and you can make a wrap, you can put it on toast if you want to, or you can just eat it in little lettuce wraps too. Hopefully you enjoy it and hopefully you'll try it out, and we'll see you next time when I'm cooking from my pantry. Thanks.